Chris Patel, we've had a great morning this morning so far. We've great guests and we've got another fabulous guest for you this morning on BBC Radio Manchester. Chris Patel is the founder of something called Tales to Inspire, a website which offers inspirational and motivational stories from people who've gone through difficult times and want to encourage others. Chris himself has gone through his fair share of despair, promising career in football, was shattered through injury and depression. Confused as to his career options and life choices, Chris went back to uni before being struck by the homeless situation in Greater Manchester, which led him to undertake some fantastic things, such as 4 marathons in 4 days, all to help people get off the streets. He's done loads of fundraising, loads of great stuff before he set up Tales to Inspire. Pre-COVID, he was running live events, but now he's launched a podcast featuring some of these inspiring stories, and he's here. Good morning, Chris.
Hi, mate. How are you doing?
I'm all right. It was a long intro there for you, wasn't it? It was almost like a marathon itself.
Mate, holy smokes, man. You did well doing that, mate. Well done.
Tales to Inspire, then. So, it's dead simple. Does what it says on the tin, eh?
Exactly, mate. So basically what happened was last summer I swam 53 miles, all the lakes in the Lake District.
And you're not a swimmer, are you?
I'm not a swimmer, mate. I'm a social swimmer. I like the jacuzzi and hot tub, mate.
Yeah.
Not so much the actual swimming. So I swam all the lakes in the Lake District and helped 36 people go into employment.
Smashing.
With, the Booth Centre. And I realised I couldn't keep doing these crazy challenges to make myself feel good. And I thought, what could I do?
Can I just ask you that? Because we talked about this morning with Becky on the show about when you do things like this, you do something and it's an amazing effect it has on people, and like you say, you help 36 people into employment, but you do get a lot out of it yourself, don't you? But it's a balance, isn't it, about how much you get and how much you give of yourself?
100%. I actually think that being selfless is actually being selfish in itself, but you completely get so much out of it yourself. The best way to transform your own situation, I feel, is helping others, but you got to balance it. You can't just completely sacrifice your own life.
And how does that come from? Does that come from because you've always fought against the norm? You were told you weren't going to make it a professional footballer. You were a British Asian, which we don't see that represented enough in football at all, do we?
Yeah, exactly. So actually, if you go back to my roots, being half Indian, I was always named like Krishnan Patel.
Yeah.
Try and turn up to a football club with football boots saying, I'm Krishnan Patel.
Yeah.
It's quite interesting. But yeah, I was always told that I couldn't do anything really, except my family always backed me, but the society I lived in never really backed me. So I've always been one of those, don't be a sheep, don't follow people, be a lion and stand up for yourself. So I've always tried to just...
And you did though, didn't you? You played for Bury in League Two.
I did. I played for Bury. I was injured most of the year, which was great. I got to play with some of the best players. I played against idols like Paul Scholes and the Rezzies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I've played football and played all over the world. So I've been very grateful for what football's given me. Yeah.
But injury sort of hampered the progress, you say, and your sort of origin story is that you went into the cars, the girls, the money, and everything else. That's what you cared about. But you were looking for something deeper.
Yeah, so it's really interesting. I was really superficial. I'm a completely different person now, but I used to care about, like you said, girls, cars, money. You really got a lot about me here, haven't you? Right, yeah, you really got me by... oh, my mum's not listening. But yeah, so...
Then you went to prison for 2 years. 3 kids. Three kids and 2 wives that you've not told your mum about. And Chris, they're here today.
Oh man, too funny. You're cracking me up, mate. But yeah, so, and then realised that actually helping people made me feel good.
Yeah.
And I realised if I could Facebook message someone around the world, why couldn't I help someone around the world? So I started to really, I was living in America at the time, and I started to try and make this difference, and ended up, I built a school in Uganda and helping children over there. And
by running 4 marathons in 4 days?
By running 4. I never ran a marathon before. I hate running as well, unless there's a ball involved.
What's wrong with you, Chris?
Well, actually, a lot of people ask that question. So, yeah, it's a good question.
So you did that, then you came back here, you came back to Bolton in 2018, and you'd been away for a little bit. And it says here that when you saw people on the streets, it sort of shocked you. Was it a different picture to the one you'd left behind?
Yeah, I don't know what it was. Maybe it's because when I left, I was like that superficial person or whatever. But I didn't notice as much homelessness. I didn't see it. It wasn't visible. And I came back to Manchester in 2018, and I just went in the city centre and I just saw so many homeless people. It was like, it hit me big style. And it shocked me. I was really in shock. Were they drug addicts? Were they all alcoholics? What was wrong with them was my initial opinion.
Yeah.
And then I went out on an outreach with Brew Power. I've actually just got back. We went out this morning.
So tell us about Brew Power then.
So Brew Power is an organisation a friend of mine, Gemma, runs. We're out every week. Help basically just, our aim is with the power of a brew to connect to people on the streets, and we just connect people and have a dialogue, and whatever it is they need, if we can connect them to charities or local organisations, we do that. So yeah, Brew Power is a wonderful organisation. It's just a volunteer organisation that I now help run.
Smashing. And then cut to Swim for Shelter. Blimey, then we're talking about that. You're non-stop, mate. You're a machine. So tell us, your tale's inspiring me. So tell me about Tales to Inspire.
All right, so Tales to Inspire, what happened was I was on the streets one day, and I don't often have light bulb moments, and I came across a homeless person, and he said to me something that changed my life forever. He said, "Chris, stories are the pages that make up this book we call life." Now, it means nothing to most people, but it made me realise that everyone has a story. How do we use that story to encourage people to never give up?
Yeah.
So in November the 3rd last year, I released Danny's story, who was homeless for 5 years. Basically, within one day, I created, within one day, we released his story. A young lady who was going to commit suicide got in contact with us, said she read his story, felt encouraged, and decided to get help. That was within a day. Within 3 days, his story had been read in 15 different countries. And then every week since, we've released a tale to inspire. Yeah, going through all the different walks of life. The one thing, you've been through something and overcome it, to show you that you can overcome anything in your life. And we've just released our podcast last week, on the 1st of October. So, yeah.
So how was it working before podcasting? So they were just written down, were they, on...
So basically what happened is I would interview everyone, and I would go through this amazing journey of going up and down, smiling and laughing, whatever it is. And then I'd literally write these tales of what I'd gone through the interview. I'd send it to my mum or one of my best mates. They'd edit it because I'm terrible with grammar. Yeah. And then we'd release this tale. And it was written, but I kind of felt like we were losing out on the emotion a little bit.
Yeah.
So I decided, how do we get that emotion over and make our audience now connect with the people? And I felt like podcast was the way.
Right, and you can get these podcasts on all the normal places, all the usual places?
Oh, yeah, on every major platform, Spotify, Google, Apple, you name it, it's on it.
One a week?
To Inspire.
One a week on a Wednesday?
One a week on a Thursday.
On a Thursday. They're out tomorrow. Who's out tomorrow then?
Who's out tomorrow? It's a good question. Sarah Williams. She's based in Liverpool. Sarah was a banker. She worked in London, and she was really struggling. She had all the money that she needed, but she didn't really have a purpose. She didn't feel like she was comfortable. She changed her life. She now runs Tough Girl Challenges. She inspires women and girls around the world. She's done some incredible challenges, like she did the Marathon des Sables, which is known as one of the hardest marathons in the world.
Oh, listen, it's been inspiring speaking to you. Tales to Inspire, it's a website and now a podcast. Cheers, Chris.
Cheers, mate. All the best, man.
Yeah, take care, mate.